This is an emergency. This is Lucia Arden, an expert in Chinese geopolitical powers. I wanted to say that thank you so much for taking this message. This emergency for Canada. Canada, do not allow your country to be overtaken by Chinese communists. They want to bring police in your country and also offices in your country to oversee all your technology. This means that they will want to take over your country in a communistic way. China has a history of bringing down countries, destroying them. That's just the way they do business. That's what they did with America. They hired the middleman of cartels to bring the fentanyl in. That 100,000 have died every year of fentanyl. And that's a war on drugs, a war on the people. So everything they do is for big business is they use other people to bring down their business in a country and then bring down the people. So for example, now China wants to get into Canada to bring geopolitical power to destroy Canada. What will happen? That is their the way they do business. It's not that this is the wrong way to do, or injustice in our way of our normal type of business, but this is the way that China does business. So you have to think of a way, and so it's something that they just do, that they make contracts that destroy the country that they enter. You do not want to become a communistic country. You will lose your freedoms. You cannot, by nature, a country cannot change its natural heart and its natural identity of a free Judeo-Christian nation, Canada. Spinoza tells us that. He's a famous political philosopher, and we've seen that in all countries. When they try to change their identity, they're destroyed. You don't want China to come in and destroy it. Just like in the 50s, Cuba was a beautiful country like USA, and then they allowed the communist regime to overtake it, and it's destroyed. But China does business where they take over the country and try to destroy it and take advantage of it. And China, we've cut many ties with China, so they're trying to get another country and destroy that for their monies. Even though these politicians are calm and they're diplomatic, they act like nothing is wrong, between the countries, but really there's death. But they have no other choice. They have to be appropriate when they communicate. They have to have diplomacy, and they have to have an argument and facts to try to get their belief of what they want to do. So really, for example, Davos, and your leader went to Davos, he cannot sell himself and his country to China. He did it. It was a very calm way and everything, but these are wrong. This is not taking care of the masses, and it's the wrong way to go. It's the wrong way to go, because China business, they'll have them around the neck, and the way they do business destroys the nations that they enter, and it takes away their power. For example, China is in Honduras, so they've given Honduras a lot of money, and then they're educating them, and they're going to have them around the neck. In Africa, China built freeways and other things built, but they built in many losses were in certain areas of Africa because it wasn't needed at the time, and maybe not now. in every nation. India, there was issues. India had to build a wall and build and protect their borders with China. And now they want to take over Japan. It's because they want to be a geopolitical power. This is a very serious thing that you can't allow your President Carney or whatever his name is to allow China to take over Canada. They're gonna watch all the technology that they want to get in there, and they have the most powerful technology after America, and they have secret technology, and they'll watch everything you do and control everything you do, and they'll use you as slaves. China will. Just look it up. My name is Lucia Arden. I'm an expert on Chinese geopolitical power. I'm the first layperson expert, independent, after the military. I wrote a book, Our Need to Give to the World, Heal American Love and God, but Arise to God's Truth by Lucia Arden. It shows and talks all about China, and In God's Power, America Saved Our Legacy, and In God, Miracle. Those are all books that are foundation Christian based, but they're all political. All my stuff lines up with President Trump, and I'm the one that asked Elon Musk to get in. Also, I asked to correct the health issues with RFK, and also to correct all the offices in 2011. And in my book, Our Need to Give to the World, but it's in all my books, I put it in the back of the books, is an article on these problems that we're having today, because I see ahead about the communistic countries want to take over, and also the biowarfare of the technology, but they'll control you every step of the way. They'll control you, and I know Chinese because I live with the Chinese, the good Chinese, for 20 years in San Marino. It's like Beverly Hills. I live with them and I serve them because I serve them in the schools, volunteering in the school systems. So I want to tell you they're lovely people, but they all moved from China because they didn't want to live in a communistic country and controlled, and many of the husbands went back and forth to China to do their business. That's how they got money too, is because they had such low interest rates, and they were able to buy expensive properties and businesses and bring them to America. That was in San Marino. But they do not want to live. They run from the communistic countries, and they'll control your cultural issues. They'll control your in everything you do, how much things cost. Eventually, they get everyone in there, and the way they make things will be destroyed. And I know that Canada owns, as you know more than I do as a citizen. I hope that China and USA are the two countries that Canada owes the most to, that they owe money to. But your leader is wrong. He needs to go back to the table and work with USA. He's going to destroy your country, and you can't allow him to let any communist Chinese come in as policemen. Communist China, did you know that they don't think that Hamas is a terrorist group? Did you know that? And also China supports Iran and Islamic regime because China is with Russia and Islamic regime Iran. Did you know that? You do not want to do this. You do not want to do this at all. God is your power. God is your strength. God gave you that nation, okay? God gave you that nation for freedom and beautiful flourishing of the authentic being and the purpose of the identity of liberty and justice for all, and not controls. He didn't make you a communist nation. And anyways, by the way, do you know that China used to be a wonderful republic similar to America's America's laws, they used to be a beautiful, beautiful country, but then they turned communistic. Did you know that? They were the power of the world at one time. They were in power, like Spain, but they they became they became communistic. You should look it up. So the monarchy in China used to be beautiful, beautiful republic, and then it changed, and this is when it got so bad and worse. And so the way they do the business is of darkness. They're the one that allowed the CCP virus. Just like Xi said, he told President Trump, please don't call it the China virus. They made that virus. They were a participant to kill the people. In any American men that were involved. You have to really think about this, and you can't allow your leader to do this. You all need to stand up and speak about this. You cannot allow your country to be taken over by the dragon of darkness. They're in the dark side. They're the light and dark. They're in the dark side of death, of political incorrectness on the way you should treat your country. It shows in all that they do of their business. You have to watch every bit of it. But the worst thing is, you're just not trading, okay? The problem is, you're not just trading like you are before, and you owe, Canada owes money to China. Your leader is allowing them, number one, to set up a technological offices to oversee everything you do. And we know eventually it's going to be ID, but just think if it's held under a communist regime and it's going to take over Canada. And then, but guess what? Which is the worst. They want Canada police there. In Canada, they want Chinese police. So that means they could bring police, they could bring nuclear warfare, they could make tools, they could bring anything. And how do we know how many police there are going to be? And then you're in trouble because you're hooked up then with China, and that's our enemy. Even though President Trump and the leaders get along with him, they have to be calm. There's no other way. They have to speak in a diplomatic way. There's different forms when you meet your enemy. They're not at the military ground on Earth. You will have a revolution, and also problems with if you allow China to take over with their technology and bring them all in all those offices, plus have the police there and everything. Eventually, you will have like a revolution of accepting the authentic purpose and freedom, and also the rules and regulations over a period of time. Maybe not right away. It could be 10 years. It could be 3 years. But because China owes so much money, also China's very, very poor. They need money. Okay, there are problems with money, China, and so is Russia. So because of the wars, but China is an issue too because of the tariffs. But China's trying to take over Canada for the geopolitical powers. Do you understand? The world is changing, and people are conglomerating with their friends, with one nation to the next. But Canada's choosing the wrong friend. I'll try to make it very simple for you. This is very serious, and there's many other issues that you know probably more than I do, because that's your country. And I'm just trying to give you initial point here, and I did before. My name's Lucia Arden. It's there on I pinned it on my Facebook. I appreciate your time. God bless you. demand your leader not to bring those offices in technology and have China control all the technology. That's ridiculous. And I studied this also about the technology and jobs that other countries bring other peoples in. Are you with me? That your country, Canada, has more successful graduates and people to do technology work than China does. Why would you allow, and think about this, why would you allow Chinese to do the work for your technology? You are more qualified. Even your leader, I don't even want to name his name, Carney, is that his name? He said that that we are a great country with educated people. Why doesn't he allow you to have the jobs? Why doesn't he allow you to have the jobs? Are you with me? Why doesn't Carney allow Canada to have the jobs for the technology for you to set up? He's doing everything backwards. He is not a leader for the people. He's a leader for communism. He's the left side. It's the left. That's what I heard. Is that true? You know better than I do, but I know this as a political analyst and politician. My name is Lucia Arden. I'm the one that structured a lot of almost every point in President Trump's work, because I asked President Trump to come in the beginning. It's all in my books. You could list this. You could see all my work. I'm not beginning just today with China or any other country, or Iran, Islamic regime, or any other country. I've been working on this for many years, for over 20 years. You can look at my work. I want you to save your country. It's my responsibility to tell you. You could see all my books, Lisa Lucia, and all my information. I recommended what President Trump is doing. Even the last 2 books, all the tariffs, everything. And another book is coming too. But I want to tell you that why would he allow the Chinese people to come use the technology and get all the jobs and control all your information of every single person? Because they are going to do ID identifications, and eventually there's going to be all controls of technology wherever we are. Would you want China to control you, a communistic country that enslaves its peoples and tortures its people? And has very bad injustice in business deals to drain you and take you around the neck and bring you down. That's normal. Just look at all the things. But that's the big question too, to help you out here and help me out here, because I love you and I don't want you to be hurt. And I was called to do this, to tell you. Now, I'll repeat it again, and this is good for me too, so then I can have a better argument. You have to realize you have great people of education in Canada, correct? Many people that are already there. You could set up the technology if he wants to have technology and new technology systems and political systems. Why the hell does he have China come with China's people in your country for the technology? Are you with me? That's the first tip-off. And then this is a communistic country that you're going to be trading with. And then they're going to they'll control every household. They'll control every household with technology. Already they try to do it. You can look at my work. I'm the one that told my America to look at every apparatus that we make, that we buy from China. And they found it in the military components. In airplanes, they found it in all the cranes. I asked them to do it. Many things I've told them and directed my country to do. You could look at all of my work. I just saw that they would control every visionary. I just visioned they would control every household through the phones, the technology. Do you understand? The lines. And then they'll try to get in your electric lines and they might even put more EMFs to kill you because they have a new program now. Are you listening? They have a program now. They have a program now where an apparatus where they could focus in by a drone anybody they could find in one drone. Did you know that? China has one of the most powerful drones where they could focus in on one person anywhere. And so if one of the peoples disagree, are you listening, with these communistic countries, that's coming in, that wants to come into Canada, in 5 or 10 years, there'll be more controls if you allow it. And let's say people don't want that, they'll shoot you and kill you with the drone by the radiation. Plus, there is a drone where there's a radiation. Are you listening? Because I'm a bit military specialist. I'm not an expert, but about these things. Now, you listen. That they'll make a drone. There is a drone, but they'll use it and try to kill you with the radiation if you set up problems. That's how severe they are. It's not like America that we try to give them so many chances. I'm surprised they don't use it now on the Islamic regime, which they might have to. This is very, very serious. They do not treat their people with fairness. They're communistic, and their business is not fair. Like when you pay $5 for eggs, okay, and you only get one egg, that's like you, what he wants to do. Plus, the egg is rotten. Are you with me? I'll repeat. So the business with China, it's like you pay $5 for eggs, but you only get one egg, and you're supposed to get 12 eggs, but the one egg is even rotten. Your land is a Judeo-Christian land. It's not a pagan land. I'll repeat, Spinoza is a very famous political philosopher, like a way ahead of his time, like Elon Musk or Jesus. He said that any country that tries to go away from their natural identity of their political ideology, which you're a Judeo-Christian nation, a capitalistic country, they die. And that's the way it's been. Every country that tries to go away from their original political ideological country to identify with their traditions, they die. So this goes beyond what I think or what you think or what facts are. This is history now. But then the most important thing that you need to know, that God is a living God. He's in, with, and through you. And you could overcome this, and you could save your country. God is more powerful than these men that are mere dirt. You have to be a Moses, and you have to bring your country out of slavery of your leader that's liberal and a left that doesn't know what he's doing. He's bringing the people down. It's part of an ideology of communism that never works. Communism never worked. It never worked for the people. Did you know that? Communist does never work. And it shows in the way China is, of their death, of the way they treat the people and how they are, and kill everybody around them. Not only financially, but from the CCP and the drugs. They use people for power, but don't put it in their own country. Just like President Trump said, do you have problems? Our beautiful President Trump, very, very diplomatic. Do you have problems, with drugs? And I'll never forget, I'll always remember what President Trump says. And Mr. Xi said from the leader of China, oh, no, 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 we don't. Because they go into other countries, China, and they do business. It's like a crime, but it's indirectly a crime of the way they do business in death. And it's bad contracts. And the rate your leader is going, he wouldn't even know how to write a proper contract to save your country. Because it shows by the fact that he's bringing Chinese in to do all the technology that he wants. You know why? Because they want to put that technology to control you too. Even if they're making big AI buildings, okay, for energy systems, which is good in cold areas, as we know, they should be built by China. They should be built by the Canadian people. Then the police station is going to come in and they're going to control you. They could easily put one drone from the next and put it inside the skies, and you wouldn't even know the drone was there. From one point to the next. Your sister knows about the drones and about the domes, because I wrote about this a couple of years ago, what to do and how to make the domes. And I'm the one that told them about the small boats to make in Ukraine and Russia war, and also to take care of our battleships that we're making, and also about the geopolitical powers that we need to set up missiles defense in each area to protect our nation in Europe. That was my work about the missiles defense. It was said years ago. Now this is it. It's time to begin. It's time to begin. You do not allow your leader to bring that technology for Chinese technology or policemen. Do you hear me? And most important, God is your strength. God is your power. In God, you could do all things through Christ's power. And you have the power to save your country in wisdom and strength and strategy. You are Moses, that he had to get his people, the Israelites, out of the clutches of Pharaoh in slavery. It's time to begin this very moment. Begin and save your country. You could do it in God's power and strength, in his salvation, in faith. Thank you so much. This is Lucia Arden.